So it looked like the Cleveland Browns has released a conversation between Shedeur Sanders and General Manager Andrew Berry. Got you.
Really, really good job. Proud of you.
Cool.
Really, really nice job.
You're not fully proud, kinda.
I'm
kinda proud.
Look, for your first time, it wasn't perfect, no, but you made plays, you operated, like, so it's just stacked.
I love when you tell the facts, do you? No, but it's okay, it's okay.
Listen, you did a nice job, okay? So just take what you learned from tonight, apply to the joint practice.
Andrew Berry thought he was having a private conversation with Shedeur Sanders, but the leaked video quickly became the internet's newest meme. Instead of appearing like a polished GM making a bold power move, Berry looked more like a desperate salesman trying to push a beat-up car, while Shedeur's expression gave off nothing but buyer's remorse. What was supposed to be a franchise-defining moment for the Browns ended up as yet another viral embarrassment, reinforcing Cleveland's reputation as the NFL's most reliable comedy act.
Now, we know pretty much Dillon Gabriel is going to get the start for this game against the Eagles because Shedeur is dealing with the oblique injury. Now, with all that being said, I ain't finna waste no time. We finna pull this thing up, react to it, check it out, and hopefully we do not get copyrighted, dog. With all that being said, roll the footage.
Thinking about 1,000 things. You're not thinking about opinions. You ain't thinking about anything when you're on the field. Everybody there?
Go get out there.
Before we move on, smash that like button and subscribe, because you know you don't want to miss out on this one. The Cleveland Browns continue to prove they're less of a football franchise and more of a live comedy special that somehow charges admission. Just when it seemed the chaos couldn't get any worse, a leaked video surfaced of GM Andrew Berry speaking with Shedeur Sanders, instantly sending the internet into a frenzy faster than the Browns' playoff hopes collapse in January. What's more surprising is up for debate, Berry's actual words, or the fact that Shedeur Sanders is even considering associating himself with a franchise that seems to turn every quarterback into a career obituary.
Cleveland, let me be very clear about something. We are not Browns fans. We are Shedeur Sanders fans, which means when Shedeur Sanders leaves, so do we.
The Browns have long cemented their reputation as the graveyard of quarterbacks, a team so infamous for wrecking careers that you don't even need to follow football to know their track record. For most players, being drafted by Cleveland feels less like a dream and more like a fast pass to a "Where Are They Now?" documentary. And yet, into the circus steps Shedeur Sanders, a quarterback with real talent, charisma, and a famous last name, caught in a leaked clip standing across from Andrew Berry. The moment has fans screaming, laughing, and questioning whether this is the point where Cleveland's clown car finally sputters to a stop.
Yeah, but just now opening up for us. It's ready now. Let's get it right here. It's a run. Cut.
Warmadan on the end around into the end zone.
Okay, baby. Okay, baby.
Andrew Berry was supposed to be the steady hand guiding the Browns away from their endless disaster reel, but instead he's gone viral in a video that makes him look less like an NFL executive and more like a college recruiter desperately trying to convince a five-star prospect that cafeteria food is actually pretty good. The internet wasted no time turning the clip into its own meme economy. Rewind buttons are breaking, captions are everywhere, and Shedeur's blank expression alone looks like it could be minted into NFTs for years. And if body language could talk, his was practically shouting, "Am I really considering this, or should I just fake a bad Wi-Fi connection and leave the room?"
I think Shedeur is a better player than Dillon Gabriel. I think drafting Dillon Gabriel in the third's pretty bold.
I didn't love that pick.
So my theory was they're no dummies. They've been around Jimmy long enough. They realize that, like, as Shedeur falls, he's going to force them to take Shedeur Sanders. So they go, listen, we'd love to take this guy in the fourth or fifth. Let's take him now, so it kind of shuts him up. But then Shedeur just kept plummeting. They didn't have a choice once they got to the...
The timing only makes it funnier. Fresh off another season that resembled a demolition derby in slow motion, the Browns are suddenly trying to sell themselves as the perfect destination for Shedeur Sanders. Imagine being Shedeur, forced to keep a straight face while Andrew Berry insists Cleveland is building something special. Building what, exactly, a bonfire of first-round picks and shattered expectations? If special means discovering bold new ways to embarrass themselves every Sunday, then yes, the Browns might just be the most special team in the NFL.
We definitely had a win today. We definitely had a win. I'm thankful for the opportunity. I'm excited for it. I don't feel like, I took full advantage of the opportunity. Sorry, Pops. I ain't do what I was supposed to do fully. But, we'll live to see another opportunity.
The clip itself is pure cringe cinema. The way Andrew Berry leans in, straining to sound convincing, feels less like an NFL pitch and more like a used car salesman trying to pass off a three-wheeled lemon with a busted transmission as a collector's item. Even rival fans, who normally enjoy mocking the Browns from afar, had to admit the interaction was painfully uncomfortable to watch. While other NFL teams go viral for game-winning drives, highlight reel plays, or fiery locker room speeches, Cleveland goes viral because their general manager can't talk to a quarterback prospect without turning it into a meme. At this point, it's almost impressive. The Browns have perfected the art of transforming the most routine football business into something that feels ripped from a Saturday Night Live skit. Winning playoff games may elude them, but winning the internet through humiliation? That's their true specialty.
You won't believe what was just said about Shedeur Sanders. This quote right here is straight out of Browns camp. So Jimmy Haslam, the Browns owner, he said, if you would have told me y'all were going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. Andrew Berry made the call to pick Shedeur. He's essentially saying, like, I didn't expect us to take Shedeur. Basically, I know we were going to pick Shedeur until we pick Shedeur. And he's basically saying, if this doesn't work out, don't blame me, the owner. This is not my...
And of all people, Shedeur Sanders doesn't need this circus. He's already carrying the weight of being Deion Sanders' son, already under the microscope of national attention, and already dealing with critics eager for him to trip up. The last thing he needs is to get sucked into the Browns' Bermuda Triangle of despair. Maybe Andrew Berry was telling Shedeur he'd be the future face of the franchise, but what fans heard was, "Congratulations, you've just been chosen as our next sacrifice to the football gods." Social media exploded instantly, with fans imagining their own captions for the clip. Some swore Berry was promising that Shedeur would finally be Cleveland's savior, others joked he was apologizing ahead of time for the trauma, and the wildest theories made it sound like Berry was auditioning for reality TV. But the actual truth doesn't even matter, because when a franchise is this historically cursed, even its most harmless moments look like setups for disaster.
Now, that was Shedeur at the end of the game. Now, a lot of people was kind of mad that he said that to Coach Prime, but if you know ball and you paid attention to the game, you know exactly why Shedeur said that. And I ain't finna keep talking over the footage. Let's
Thank you. Sorry. Everybody is so excited. You should feel good.
I'm not excited about participating.
Think about it, if this leaked video had shown the Chiefs GM talking to a young quarterback, fans would see mentorship, wisdom, and the foundation of a dynasty. If it were the 49ers, it would look like a proud franchise scouting their next star. But because it's the Browns, the funniest part is imagining what Shedeur Sanders must be thinking afterward. On one hand, being drafted high is every player's dream. On the other, it's Cleveland. It's like winning a golden ticket to Willy Wonka's factory, only to find out the place is condemned and Willy has a gambling problem. Sure, Shedeur could land endorsement deals, primetime games, and a massive rookie contract, but just as easily, he could walk away with a wrecked shoulder, shattered confidence, and a highlight reel filled with sacks. It's the ultimate gamble, and Andrew Berry, in this leaked video, looks less like a general manager and more like a casino dealer shuffling the deck with a smirk.
Before I overreact to this video, I need y'all help assessing and dissecting what I just heard.
That block versus Carolina, that compete block, that's it. And guess what? That block that we just got completed with that practice versus them with this game tonight, this football team got better. This football team got better this entire week by stacking these days, by competing versus them out there on the practice field, by competing versus them.
Fans haven't let the moment fade. Memes flooded every corner of the internet, some edited the clip to make it look like Berry was begging Shedeur not to bolt, while others captioned it as a desperate plea for mercy. It's rare for an NFL general manager to become the punchline of the sports world, but leave it to Cleveland to deliver. On paper, Barry is competent, even praised at times for making smart moves, but the Browns are quicksand. No matter how hard you fight, the end result is the same. That leaked video proves it. Even the most composed executive eventually turns into a parody of himself once he's wearing that Cleveland logo. For Shedeur Sanders, the viral clip feels less like a random internet moment and more like a trailer for his possible future. Step into Cleveland, and he risks becoming another name on the cursed scroll of quarterbacks who came, saw, and collapsed. Avoid Cleveland, and he keeps his shine, his swagger, and, most importantly, his dignity.
I'm focusing on tightening up everything I messed up on last week, and not making mistakes, honestly, when it comes to just things you can't control.
Really, really good job. Proud of you.
Cool.
Really, really nice.
You're not fully proud, kinda.
I'm
kinda proud.
Look, pretty first shot. It was a perfect.
The video feels less like a recruiting pitch and more like a warning label, almost as if the universe itself leaked it just to remind Shedeur Sanders what he'd be signing up for. If the first half of the clip had the vibe of awkward recruiting day jitters, the aftermath became a full-blown Cleveland tradition: denial, spin, and frantic damage control. On one side, he's enjoying free publicity, trending charts, and endless attention. On the other, he's realizing Cleveland's reputation could swallow him whole before he even takes an NFL snap. He could throw picture-perfect spirals, rack up highlight reel plays, and still be remembered only for the fact that the Browns were the ones holding the playbook. The world doesn't memorialize Browns quarterbacks for their stats, it remembers them for their failures. And the internet, true to form, is already drafting the Shedeur Sanders Browns bust memes before he's even drafted.
Andrew Berry, he is the GOAT of all GOATs as GMs. Man, just imagine dropping to the 5th round, being the 4th string quarterback, 2 guys above you, and Andrew, and you start in your rookie debut. And even knowing that the goddamn owner of the Cleveland Browns wanted nothing to do with you or the Sanders family at all. But you know who did? But do you know who did?
Cleveland fans, as always, are split down the middle. Some cling to the hope that Shedeur Sanders could be the long-awaited savior, the chosen one who somehow wades through the toxic swamp and emerges victorious. Others see the whole thing as just another setup for heartbreak. Yet one leaked video later, he looks like every other Browns authority figure before him, confident on the surface, panicked underneath, and destined to be roasted on every sports show in America. At this point, it feels like even the Cleveland front office is cursed. No matter how much brainpower or talent they bring in, the formula never changes: awkward headlines, bad football, and a fresh punchline for late-night comedians.
Unless you're living under a rock, you know that Shedeur Sanders made his NFL debut over the weekend by playing in his first preseason game. And by all accounts, he exceeded expectations, played very well. But of course, you have the haters. As T Swift said, haters gon' hate, 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 hate. That's the thing about haters, boy. They don't ever change.
Meanwhile, the Browns locker room has to be watching this saga like it's a reality show. Veterans already know how it ends, and rookies probably assume it's normal for their team to trend for all the wrong reasons. The media frenzy hasn't helped Shedeur either. Every sports pundit, from ESPN analysts to late-night podcasters, is breaking down the footage like it's the Zapruder film. Slow-motion replays, freeze frames of his facial expressions, endless theories about what was really said, it's all there. And that's the beauty of Cleveland, they don't even need to play a game to create controversy. Other franchises save their chaos for draft day or free agency. The Browns just wake up, breathe, and chaos follows.
Barry, he gets 100% full credit, A++ for Shedeur Sanders' pick, all by himself, because the owner wanted nothing to do.
Shedeur's father, Deion Sanders, has to be watching all this with a shake of his head. Coach Prime spent years carefully shaping his son's brand, crafting him as not just a quarterback, but as a media-savvy, spotlight-ready figure. Year after year they buy season tickets, convincing themselves, this time will be different. These are the same fans who've endured decades of quarterback disasters yet treat hope like its own sport. With Shedeur's name now in the mix, they're ready to believe all over again. To them, the viral video isn't embarrassment, it's destiny, a sign that maybe this is the quarterback who finally breaks the curse. But deep down, they know exactly how this script ends. It's not hope. It's self-delusion dressed up as loyalty.
Shedeur got on the field. You watching the game, Chad, there's a lot of Shedeur Sanders fans. What did you think of his first outing?
Listen, all the talk and the narratives and the storylines and whatever you want to say, sooner or later that ball's about to snap. And that young man we watched at Colorado, who's one of the best football players in the nation, is now looking like one of the best football players in the nation at another level.
The bigger picture is that the Browns keep finding ways to embarrass themselves in ways no other franchise can. Leaked videos happen in sports all the time, but they don't usually become viral sensations. When it's Cleveland, though, the world stops, points, and laughs. And now, through no fault of his own, Shedeur Sanders has become a central character in this ongoing comedy. Even if he never takes a single snap for the Browns, his name will forever be tied to this clip, a scarlet letter that lingers in interviews, documentaries, and cautionary tales for future quarterbacks. That's the true reach of the Browns' curse. It doesn't just haunt the players who sign, it contaminates anyone who comes too close.
Ooh-wee, Shedeur got that quarterback room looking real suspect now. Look at Dylan's face. Look at his face, man. Come on, he not even happy for Shedeur. He not even clapping, nothing. Hey, he know time's about to be real uncomfortable. Deshaun, he ain't tripping. He got 200.
What makes the whole thing even funnier is that Andrew Berry likely thought he was having a private, professional conversation, projecting confidence, leadership, and vision. Instead, the leaked clip turned him into the star of the internet's favorite blooper reel. Sure, the video will eventually fade as the internet moves on to its next shiny scandal, but the damage is already done. The Browns have reminded everyone, yet again, that they can't do anything without tripping over their own shoelaces. And for Shedeur Sanders, the takeaway is crystal clear: tread carefully. If he ever does end up in Cleveland, this viral moment will feel less like a blip and more like foreshadowing, a warning shot of the chaos to come. Because the Browns don't just lose games, they lose in ways so spectacular that the internet builds entire joke industries around them. Andrew Berry's leaked chat with Shedeur Sanders is just the latest chapter in a story that never stops being hilarious.